Hello everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Weird by Newsroom for 2024, or in this case it's episode 33. We don't really have much to talk about this week. We got some new releases, we got some trailers of the supernatural kind, and we got some news with some rumors, some castings, and all other stuff. So, let's not waste too much time. Let's get into the first Weird by Newsroom of 2024.
Okay, man, I'm going for a swim.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start the week of releases of this year with a film that was initially released in November in the US that was supposed to release here as well, but I guess they delayed it. We have the newest life story film from acclaimed director of Sofia Coppola, with the now famous musician with the release of Priscilla. And this will focus on the wife of Elvis Presley, how they met when Elvis was dropped into the military, which also is a bit concerning given that she was underage at the age of 14 while he was in his mid-20s. And a relationship that was not always so loving and, glitz and glamour, and we'll delve into the more dark private life of the world-famous musician's young wife. The reception on this has been very well received, with great praise going to the performance of Kylie Spaney as Priscilla Presley, and for being a more focused biographical pick compared to the likes of the Elvis one from 2 years ago now at this point, which was more over glamorized stuff, his career and stuff. But if you want to check it out for yourself, it is now available to check out in cinemas now. But if you want to look for something that's more in the horror genre, then you are somewhat in luck, as we have the first new horror movie of the year with Night Swim. Now, this new film will follow a family that moves into a new home and discover they have a new pool in their backyard, but soon discover that something truly dangerous and sinister lies beneath the surface. Now, the reception on this film has not been the best, as well the concept, which was initially based on a short film with director and writer of this movie, is interesting. It is lacking any real scares or even sort of like comedic tones, like the tension breaks for the film. It's also reminded me of a really old series, if you've heard of it, called Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it is based on the episode more of The Tale of Dead Man's Float, which has the exact same concept and is quite scary, especially for a children's show. But if you want to make a splash with this horror film, then you can do so now, as it's out now in cinemas. And with all of that, that brings us to all the new releases for the first week of 2024.
Frankenstein. and he's got a gun.
Now, both of our trailers for this week, we've only got 2 this week, are in the form of a bit of the supernatural side of things. And the first of them is one that we've seen in the past, but with a new modern day twist to it, and some romance in there as well. And that's a new romantic horror comedy of Lisa Frankenstein. Now, this new film will be following Catherine Newton's character, who is a misunderstood teenager who becomes smitten with a reanimated corpse, and soon enough will embark on a murderous journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts in between. Now, I think this has the look of an interesting concept of an 80s teen rom-com with a bit of a horror twist to it. And I'm sure it'll probably be worth a watch when this film drops. I believe it's either in mid-February, just before Valentine's Day, or will be dropping on March 1st. And some dates may vary as well. I've seen a few for March 1st, some for February 9th. I don't know yet, but we'll probably find out sure enough probably soon. Once I do update, you'll probably see it in the video, so we'll go with that. And the second one is a series that has seen quite a collection of films over the course of the last near half century since its original movie in 1976 that would be as popular as some more horror classics like The Exorcist and Friday the 13th and Halloween and all that stuff. But this time we're going back to where it all started, even before the original, and how it all lead up to the original film with a trailer for the first Omen. Now, this will follow a young woman who starts to question her own faith when she uncovers a terrifying conspiracy to bring about the birth of an evil incarnate, or basically the Antichrist, in Rome. Now, I haven't seen much of the series besides the classic original, and this one I do hope does well, but it's hard to say. When a lot of these horrors always have a setting of some religion or demonic creatures, and it's always usually around the time it's hit or miss with some films like franchise ones or like concepts and stuff like that. But we'll have to see how it all turns out, and if it does hopefully turn out well, when we find out this film releases on April 5th of this year, so just in time for Easter. And with all that, that's just all the trailers that we have for this week. Minecraft is for everyone! Now we start with the news stories, and initially this one I'm going to do now was initially 3 separate stories because there wasn't really much for most of the week, and then Friday, the weekend came along and suddenly I had a lot of them too. So I'm just going to delve these 3 into one because they're all based on a particular thing. And as of course, the announcements of some casting news for 3 different projects. Our first story is coming to us with some news for an upcoming film adaptation of another popular video game franchise, and this one is going to be based on the massive sandbox creative survival game of Minecraft. Now, it may become a surprise to you, but we are actually getting a film based on the worldwide phenomenon, and it's not too far for release, as apparently it's confirmed for release in early April of next year. The one thing I do have a bit of weird concern about is that this film is going to be in live action, so I'm questioning how that will work. But besides the point, I'm delving more into the casting, and the new announcement is quite a good one, I will say. As was confirmed on Tuesday this week that Jack Black himself has been cast in the upcoming film. Now, it's not fully known who he's playing, but some rumors and sources are confirming that he'll be possibly playing the main iconic character of Steve, and he'll be joining the other cast members, including Jason Momoa, who has also been cast in the movie for quite a while now. Now, it's just a little speculation on this end at the moment, but until it has been properly confirmed of who he's playing, which most likely could be Steve or another villager or something like that, we'll have to wait and see until then. Now, our next casting confirmation is only just confirmed recently as of recording this, about, say, 2 days ago. We're on for a film by a studio that seems to be following in the footsteps of Disney with their whole live action stuff. And this, of course, is the upcoming live action adaptation of DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon. Now, we've already gotten the casting a while back for the film's 2 leads, with Mason Thames, who played Billy in The Black Phone, will be playing Hiccup, and Nico Parker, who you knew played Sarah in The Last of Us, will be playing Astrid. And now we have another addition to the cast, as Gerard Butler will be reprising his role from the animated film as Hiccup's father of Stoic. Now, I'm sure we will see more of the cast being announced over the next few weeks, given that they are projected to start filming for this soon and are looking to have this released before it takes flight in June 2025. And the last of the casting roles is actually not casting, but rather from the announcement of a departure from another franchise, as we're delving into the first story talking on some superhero fare of the MCU. It was announced about Wednesday this week that Stephen Young, who was supposedly rumored to have been casted as Sentry for the upcoming Marvel's ThunderBolts movie, has dropped out of the project. Now, the reasoning for this dropping out is to do with some scheduling conflicts that has popped up more from the recent actor strikes that happened last year, and not to do any form of drama or falling out or intentions or anything on set, which I totally get, given a lot of films were affected from the strikes and stuff like that, and people, have other films to sort out as well before the films released sometime, that stuff, and a lot of films got delayed out of this year and last year and everything like that into this year, so you get the idea. Now, I'm sure that you'll probably come back again for this role sometime in the future, or maybe someone else might come along and take the character role unless they rework it, but we'll have to see how it turns out by the time the film drops sometime next year. But with all that, what are your thoughts on these casting announcements, and what are your thoughts on each of these projects in particular? Which one of you are more interested in? But let me know what you think of it all down below in the comments section below. And next on the news side of things is some returning rumors with the company of Nintendo. Now, a little while ago I delved into some discussions about some rumors of Nintendo's next gen console after the first Switch, as the console will be turning 7 years this year in March. Now, I mentioned some discussion in the past that we'll be expecting a new hardware piece sometime in the later half of this year. I mentioned some specs to level like a PS4 and Xbox One, whether it's just the standard or more the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Well, we don't know. But besides that, it seems according to some reliable sources that we'll be seeing this new console, which has been dubbed the Switch 2, which will have a launch price of around €400. Now, that seems like a most logical price for the game console, given the last version of the OLED costed around €365 when that launched around 2 or 3 years ago. But I think that will be the max price, the likes maybe of a launch game, like a new Mario game or something like that, or something like higher storage, like the Wii U did in 2012, where they had the white one with 8 gigs for like 320, and then for an extra 60 quid you're getting the black one for 32 gigs, and you get Nintendo Land with it as well, but who knows. Now, I'm certain the rumored official first looks of the next console will probably start to pop up in the next few weeks, given that if they want to have a release by this year, they're most likely going to have to do like an unveilment of something. They'll do a big announcement trailer, they'll do like a little event showing off like some of the launch tiles and what companies are with it, but I'm sure we'll probably get some updates on it soon, and once I do, I will update you all in a later video. What are your thoughts on the price, and how much do you think it will launch at, and do you think this will be another hybrid console? I think if want success, they keep it with the hybrid console, because it's a fucking brilliant idea. But let me know what you think of it all down below in the comments, and let's discuss ideas like what price you think, what's the launch titles, and what you think it will look like. And now for some news based on the concept of a rumored release, and this is with the giant conglomerate entertainment company of Disney. Now, as you are aware, Disney has been making a lot of live action films based on some remakes of the original animated films. And something that I am aware of because I've been doing a rewatch-a-thon as it is. Hopefully we'll have that video up by the end of this month, so fingers crossed. Hopefully. And it seems since about 2016 they have been pumping them out with more than at least once a year. At least 1 or 2 every year, with the max I think being in 2019 that had about 5 in 1 year. It was a case that initially we were supposed to have a similar thing as well this year but that might have changed slightly. With the first one was supposed to be the live action retelling of Snow White, that one that's been a bit in controversy that has now been delayed by a year from March 2024 to March 2025. And the only one we have left that is still confirmed is the prequel sequel to The Lion King with Mufasa at Christmas time. However, there seems to be a bit of a rumored secret surprise release third film that may be on the way out and coming quite soon as well. Now, according to some reports and rumors floating around, we are getting a live action Disney film releasing straight to streaming on Disney Plus, and that one in particular is the live action version of 2002's Lilo and Stitch, and that the film itself will be dropping sometime in June of this year. Now, the basis of the film releasing around this time may make sense given that the film had started production a little under a year ago in the beginning of May, after it was delayed briefly for a recasting, as well as a possible arson attack that saw the burning of a trailer that saw about $200,000 in damages and the cost of about 3 weeks worth of costumes for that kind of instance. Now, it did get put on hold during the whole strikes, but I had at least managed a good 2.5 months of filming beforehand, and I would say that they will get released by then, that in between the dry season, the striking and stuff like that, and no productions working, that they probably had some bits of it, put together with like editing and stuff like that, and they could probably get the rest of things when they get back to normal with filming. They probably got filming back in November or something, but we don't know. Do I see it happening? Possibly, but I feel logically they'll probably wait till a Disney Plus day, so either probably like they'll announce like a Disney Plus day in like the summer or like early fall, like September again, where they'll drop like, oh, the live action Lilo and Stitch movie, a new Pixar series, and all different things, and release of like some other stuff, but you get the gist of it. But we'll have at least 2 live action films to go to, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all turned out by then, so we'll have to keep up the ear for when any information comes out. But what are your thoughts on this film being released this year, and do you have any interest in a live action Lilo and Stitch film, or these live action remakes in general, or is there ones you want to see in particular? I keep mentioning all the time the best ones to do it for is the ones that basically are underrated, particular to Atlantis Lost Empire and Treasure Planet. I'm just saying this now. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section below, what ones you want to see, and do you think you're interested in this movie? But we'll find out. Oh boy, and the last of the stories of this week is delving into the basis of an IP and the concept of the public domain. Oh boy, I'm becoming a horror icon, huh? Now you've been following the news for the last couple of months, you will know that the certain honey-loving little bear has become available for public domain since early 2022. And what spawned was the concept of making Winnie the Pooh horror icon, with a film that I already did an in-depth analysis for Halloween, which you can check out in the link in the description below. And some games as well, the likes of Winnie's Hole and 100 Acre Wood as 2 that are currently on the way. And we also know as well there's the likes of a follow-up sequel coming out, presumably I'm guessing sometime this year. Well, now we have another new character that was a simple character for all ages that is coming to the form of the famous mouse himself of Mickey Mouse, in particular the version from the Steamboat Willie cartoon from the 1920s. Yes, he entered public domain there on January 1st. But now the question is, what do you do when you have a version of a character enter public domain? You make him a horror icon, of course, because why not? What else do you think was going to happen? Yes, it wasn't even a full 24 hours into the new year, but we got the announcement of not 1, not 2, but 3 projects of horror based on the famous mouse, with 2 being low-budget films, with which one I'll show a brief little clip of here of Mickey's Mousetrap, another one called Steamboat Willie, which is going to be a horror comedy, which is being made by the guy who made the horror film version of The Grinch from 2022 called The Mean One. And then we also got the confirmation of a new game called Infestation 88. I think it changed its name since then, but I need to have a check for that one anyway. Now I feel that this will last for a fair bit of time, and then Disney will pull a fast one, put the character back into their control of they buy the IP back again, they kind of go back to public domain for another while. They claim the films or whatever the case is, and there's all some serious stuff, but given it's a specific version of the character, I feel it might be easier to work around. I don't know. So all I know is that I'm most likely finding myself doing a second version of Horror Most Bored this year. They'll most likely focus on these films, maybe even Blood and Honey too. I'll be surprised if any of them are actually pretty good, I'll have to say, because the one for the trailer for the Mousetrap one looks bad. It just looks so half-assed. But, you know, it happens. But I guess we'll have to find out when the first one turns out, when Mousetrap actually releases in about a month and a half time, sometime in March. But what are your thoughts on this whole turn an iconic character into a horror series concept? And do you think any of these will be good? Or what other characters do you see getting this transformation once in the public domain? We already know that basically we're getting Peter Pan and Bambi, one from the same guy who did the Winnie the Pooh movies, so we'll have to see what happens. And I have no idea when Blood and Honey 2 comes out. I think it's this year, but we'll have to see. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section below. And with that, that's all of the news that we have for this week.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
And with that now, that is the end of episode 33 and the first Weird Mind Newsroom of 2024. And I hope you enjoyed listening to my ramblings as always. Anyways, some little updates on what to expect hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Well, I'll start off with the first one, the rewatch-a-thon. So I have been kind of, you know, doing it now and again anyway. I've got at least one or two still to finish, little bits and pieces to like gather. I gotta get all the footage. I've like recorded like my thoughts and opinions pieces while watching the movies, and you know, I want to at least give a good bit of focus to each of them. So don't know how long this first part's gonna be. Probably be a bit lengthy, probably similar to like the video game adaptation history, probably about an hour or something like that. I don't know. I want to at least give a good bit of focus to each film, give my thoughts and stuff, just throw random pieces and stuff from the film in there. Like I got good bits of footage for all of them, so we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll have that out by the end of this month, but we'll have to see. And then for part 2, I want to at least speed up the process, so maybe by March, April, by Easter, I'll try for that second part, but you have to see. Other stuff, this will continue weekly as well. Reviews, I have some in mind. I want to get at least the Barbenheimer ones sorted out. I wasn't actually thinking of combining them, but I'm going to keep them as separate ones. Do Oppenheimer itself, do Barbie, get the special important person in there as well, talk about the Barbie section, give their thoughts on it, and yeah, maybe even do a little video down the line talking about the impact it has and how it like kind of helped save cinema in some capacity last year, because it's just been pretty quiet. Also want to get some reviews done for more stuff, like, you know, I want to get the Chicken Run done as well. I want to get one for Wonka. I will get to Aquaman and Godzilla as well, do those reviews. Do Indiana Jones. I'll do some other ones anyway, kind of just throw them all in there as well. I'll also do some TV shows and game reviews. The game ones I want to at least do on Tears of the Kingdom, Red Dead, and maybe some other ones I do have. Like if I do Spider-Man 2 when I get through and play it. Same with Mario Wonder, a few other ones, like maybe some random ones. Like consider the Origami King review for Paper Mario from a few years ago. I did finish that there recently and I really enjoyed it, so I'll might consider it, but I don't know. And then TV shows, 2 I have in mind already. One is the Last of Us series, because it's coming up on a year since this series premiered, and part 2 remastered is coming out this year in 3 weeks time, so I might do a review for that as well in between, and then do a review for Velma as well. I did mention it in my Puss in Boots review, basically about the whole thing with anxiety, but you know, I'll get to that eventually. So hopefully have them out in the next couple of weeks. I just gotta work on stuff, write them up, get my thoughts and bits. That one's gonna be the death of me, I'll tell you that. Anyways, I'll do some long form videos as well. I'm gonna do some essay stuff and try and get the sort of like the ASMR and the gameplays and some other bits and pieces like that. I'm gonna work on some stuff, at least have some ideal concepts for this year, but we'll have to do the case. And yeah, if you have any concepts you want me to talk about, like, you know, just you want to collab with something, or you want me to talk about like some long form videos or some other bits and that, let me know down below in the comments, or even tell me on socials. I will happily do some video for you and like credit you in the video. And maybe if you want to come on and we can do a little discussion about it, you know, we can video call, we'll figure it out, but you get the gist. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have time for this week, so I hope you all enjoyed listening to my ramblings. And if you want to see more from me, and maybe more in a frequent manner, why not simply like the video if you enjoyed it already, and subscribe if you haven't already as well. I look forward to building a wholesome community with you even throughout the rest of this year as well. And you know, it's sort of a case like I'll appreciate every single subscriber that happens, and like milestones like 50, 100, like, you know, different ones. Like I'll definitely do some like, you know, milestone kind of videos or something that I'll figure something out. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Share it around to people you haven't already, and even comment below all your thoughts on all the things that have like new released this week, your thoughts on the trailers, as well as the thoughts on the news. If you've seen any of them, what are your thoughts on them? I'd love to hear your discussion. We can have this discussion about it, continue the conversation in the comments. But anyways, I think I'll leave it there for now. I'm gonna go sort some stuff out around the house. I got some bits to sort out for the next few weeks. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and hope you all stay being wonderful people, because I see you all out there. You all are wonderful people, I'll tell you that now. And have a great day every day, doing many great things, because you all are destined for many great things, of course. And I wish you all the best for that. And yeah, happy 2024 as well. So that's what I'll leave for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, everybody, and goodbye.